The truth makes for a bad sermon. What actually happens in life is beyond interpretation.
Have you noticed anything, Sister James? I want you to be alert.
It's just the way the boy acted when he came back to class. He looked frightened.
The most innocent actions can appear sinister to the poisoned mind.
What happened in the rectory?
Happen. Children need warmth, kindness, understanding. What does she give them? Nothing happened. I had a talk with the boy.
What about?
It was a private matter. There are people who try to tell you that the light in your heart is a weakness.
I'm concerned about the relationship between Father Flynn and your son.
I don't know, sister. You may think you're doing good, but the world's a hard place. I don't know that you and me are on the same side.
You have to stop this campaign against...
You could stop it at any time.
How?
Confess and resign.
You are attempting to destroy my reputation.
I will do what needs to be done.
Wow, that was a look at the Pulitzer and Tony Award-winning play Doubt, a Parable, which opens on Broadway this Thursday in its first revival since the play's original run nearly 20 years ago. It stars Emmy-nominated and Tony Award-winning actor Liev Schreiber, along with Oscar and Tony-nominated actress Amy Ryan. The play follows Sister Aloysius, the principal of a Bronx Catholic school in the 1960s, who suspects the school's new priest, Father Flynn, has sexually abused the school's first black student. And Liev and Amy join us now. Welcome to the show in this capacity. It's great to have you both. I guess without giving away too much more, tell us about this version of Doubt, Liev, and also what it's like to work with Amy, who I'm obsessed with, from Only Murders in the Building and The Office, just to name a few.
Well, Amy and I have known each other since our early 20s.
Oh, really?
So it's a treat to get to work together now. Doubt is, it's just this extraordinary play. I don't know what to say about it other than Shanley's work. I think we've lost some ability to process nuance and complexity in this modern world, and I think John's play is kind of champions that complexity, the idea that doubt can be a unifying concept, I think it in many ways, it speaks to the strength of our democracy, that we are able to disagree with each other and yet still somehow make progress. But as more and more we see people leaning more into winning than progress, we see things falling apart. And I think that's, for me, there's so many extraordinary ideas and themes in this play, but for me, that's one of the most powerful ones. How, for instance, I think social media, which is the algorithms that sort of categorize us for the purposes of marketing, demand that you are either red or blue, or Israel or Palestine, and I think that John adds some nuance. John Patrick Shanley, the playwright, adds some nuance to that conversation, and I think it's a very, very timely play.
Fabulous. Go ahead. Oh.
So, Amy, you stepped into the role sort of late because the original actress cast had a health emergency. So tell us about that, to do so on such an accelerated timeline, but also just to take on what is such a serious and heavy topic.
It was a very late evening Sunday night phone call, and when I came around to it on Monday afternoon, and I was rehearsing with Liev and the rest of the cast the next day and kind of running as fast as I could, getting up at 5:30 a.m. to start cramming lines. And I remember saying, like, please give me permission to be really, really bad. don't worry yet.
Yeah.
But it was truly being shot out of the cannon. But this incredible cast was so patient and generous with me. And, they had lost their leading lady, but they put trust in me somehow, or they let me believe they had trust in me.
It must have been so helpful that you all know each other so well for so long. That must have really helped in a time like that.
It definitely helps. The familiarity gives comfort. And although this is the first time we're really working together, but yeah, we have mutual friends and we've known each other, and I've
no doubt about each other.
No doubt about each other. No Liev's work.
Let's take a look now at the scene where Sister Aloysius begins to realize she cannot trust Father Flynn.
May I ask what you wrote down with that ballpoint pen?
Oh, nothing. An idea for a sermon.
You had one just now.
I get them all the time.
How fortunate.
I forget them, so I write them down.
What is the idea?
Intolerance.
Would you like a little more tea, Father?
Not yet. I think a message of the Second Ecumenical Council is that the church needs to take on a more familiar face, reflect the local community. We should sing a song from the radio now and then. Take the kids out for ice cream.
Ice cream.
Take them on a camping trip. We should be friendlier. The children and the parents should see us as members of their family rather than emissaries from Rome. I think the pageant should be charming, like a community theater doing a show.
But we're not members of their family. We're different.
Why? Because of our vows?
Precisely.
I don't think we're so different.
Wow.
You know, what you were saying earlier about Shanley's work, it was written in 2004 at the height of the sex abuse scandal that the Catholic Church was enduring, and it is enduring still today. But I was thinking about what you had just said, and the number of times people say in life, geez, I doubt that. You know, just the word doubt itself and the way it plays not only in this theatrical work, but the way it plays off in our lives.
Sure. You know, one of the things that Doug Hughes, the original director of the first production 20 years ago, he said that they added that part, a parable, to the title. It's actually Doubt, a Parable. And he said that part of the reason they added that was because there was a conversation amongst the people who were organizing the play and developing it, that it spoke to our certitude going into the Iraq War. And that thing about not being able to contain doubt, that we had to make a definitive decision, and that the complexity of things and the nuance of things is so important that we're allowed to doubt, and that it's actually this kind of wonderful unifying concept that red and blue meet somewhere in the middle, which in a funny way is doubt, which is this very human quality. And to do that with such tautness and humor, and I'm just really, thrilled that we're able to be a part of the play.
Liev and Amy, before you go, if I could just touch on Ukraine with you. You have Ukrainian roots, and you co-founded Blue Check Ukraine.
Yes.
And you recently wrote a piece for Time entitled "Ukraine is Fighting for the Same Values Americans Hold Dear." Tell us about that, and I'll challenge you a little bit. Do all Americans hold those values dear?
Well, this is my opinion, and you can doubt it if you like.
I'm not doubting it. I'm just asking. I do this 4 hours a day, and I might have a little doubt. But
I know.
I guess what that piece was for me was thinking about my grandparents' generation.
Yeah.
And what was important to them. And I think the generation of people who fought in the great wars and who defended democracy, and what's really at stake for people who think that Ukraine doesn't matter. That I believe that this is the front line of a war on democracy. And I think that we are a nation of grandchildren, and I think that the opportunities that we have sitting around this table, I think we're provided by people who struggled to live the American way of life. And what is that? And when it's at stake, what are we willing to do to defend it? And if that just means going to the ballot, absolutely, you have to do that. For me, it's more than that. For me, it's defending a place where my grandparents came from, and the idea that they should be able to vote for their own leaders, that they should be able to pray in their own churches, that they should be able to do everything in the way that we have been able to do everything in this country is extremely important. And I think that is, to some degree, I do believe that they are fighting our fight. I certainly think that's what my grandfather would have thought.
Well, the revival of Doubt, a Parable, opens on Broadway this Thursday and runs through April 14th at the Todd Hames Theater in Manhattan. Tickets are available now. Co-stars Liev Schreiber and Amy Ryan, thank you both very much for coming
Thanks
on
for
the show
having
this
us.
morning.
Thank you, guys.
We really appreciate it.